So I'm here with Nick Moody. How are you doing today?
Not bad, man. How are you? What's going on?
Excellent. Thank you so much for taking the time. You you grew up in Long Island. What was that experience like?
I actually grew up in Brooklyn. I moved to Long Island like in my high school days. But yeah, man, it was interesting. I went from Brooklyn to Long Island, so it was a bit of a switch up for me. So to get a little bit of both backgrounds was kind of made me who I am. So uh yeah, man, it was I had a fun childhood, played a lot of sports, did stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Definitely. When did you start making music?
Not until much later in life, actually. I had started a little bit in college for fun, but it was more so when I got out of college that I started taking it seriously and like really learning and uh, diving into spending a lot of time in the studio and working with producers and stuff like that.
Definitely. When did you know that you wanted to pursue this as a career?
Um, Probably about after the first time, because I was in like a group in college. And like I said, we didn't really take it too seriously. When I got out of college and I was working a regular job or whatever, um, I got on stage for the first time like by myself. And I don't know, I just felt right and I felt like I should be pursuing this. So pretty much from the first time I stepped on stage as Nick Moody, I kind of knew.
You've had some really interesting experiences. I've seen you like you performed on Shade 45. What was that experience like?
It's wild, man. You're on live TV, so they're gonna be like, "Oh, you're on in 10." It's a different type of pressure, you know what I'm saying? So that really like set the bar for anything I did after that, because that's Shape 45 is kind of like the pinnacle of hip hop stuff. So being able to be on there and rap with Lord Sear and my man Infamous Amadeus, that was kind of a pillar in my career, and everything has kind of grown since then.
I was checking out some of your music videos, man. You have some really crispy videos. I love like songs like La La Land. Like what was the experience of like shooting that video, especially in like LA? I saw you like on Santa Monica Beach and
Yeah, yeah, that was a crazy one because we all flew out there to make that happen, and we just kept exploring, like going from location to location, trying to put together this video, and I'm really happy with how that one came out. I think it's a really pretty video. You know what I'm saying? It's very bright and vibrant, and tells the story. Like we literally like followed the map of locations that they used in the movie La La Land. Obviously, we don't have a huge movie budget to make it look quite the same, but we did our best, and I think it came out pretty good, if you ask me.
how does being Italian American influence your art?
To the utmost. That's just my heritage. You know what I mean? That's who I am. It's who my family is. Uh, I just try to bring a little bit of that culture in. I mean, I think hip hop culture really likes Italian culture, to be honest with you. So it's not too hard. All you gotta do is make a mob movie reference, and somebody will gravitate towards it. So, um, you know, I just like being myself, and I think it's really welcomed in hip hop. So it's a beautiful thing.
Definitely. I was talking about cultural appropriation yesterday, like with someone, and we were having a conversation about how a lot of times like people say like that people are stealing black culture, but like a lot of like black artists do borrow from like Italian culture.
I'm glad you said that. Somebody said it. But yeah, I mean, listen, it's a tough thing, but I think it really boils down to how much time you spend in it. And I think appropriation is using something that you're really not a part of. Being that I grew up playing ball, and I grew up in Canarsie. Like, I've always been immersed in hip hop culture. So for me to do it, like, the people around me never thought it was that weird. So if you're an outsider and you see me rapping, maybe you might think that. But if you did your homework, you'd realize that I live this stuff. I'm at the events. I'm at the shows. So to me, it could never be appropriation because I live it. You know what I'm saying? But in the same token, it's just fun, man. Like, nobody has a problem with a black artist using The Godfather as a as a way to like produce their video or whatever like that. So, um, it's just for the fun of it. It's art at the end of the day. And as long as you are paying respect and showing homage to the culture that came before you, I don't see why that would be a problem.
Who were some of your biggest influences in hip hop?
Kendrick for sure. I like Atmosphere. I don't know. He's like more of an underground guy from Minnesota, but he was a huge influence on me.
MC Slug, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, the way he rhymes, his storytelling was probably the first thing that kind of got me into hip hop, and then since then, guys like Kendrick, guys like Cuddy and Mac Miller, and like guys that walk the line of like that alternative kind of vibe. I've always kind of gravitated towards. Um, but yeah, man, Slug's my guy. I would love to be on a show with him sometime. That's like my dream.
Yeah, man, I love Atmosphere. Like, I remember like going to see the Seven Travels tour, like in college, and like
Yeah,
hearing
yeah.
Raleigh, like really really enjoy their music. You have you have a album out right now. Like, can you tell me about it?
Oh yeah, the cipher tape. I just it's a collection of I do a lot of ciphers, and I felt like I wanted to hear those cipher verses kind of like on recording because a lot of them are just in the streets or on some video somewhere. So I had a bunch of producers all over the world recreate beats to those cipher verses, and then I invited it open to a bunch of rappers from all over the world, and we ended up with on hip hop's 50th anniversary. We ended up with 50 rappers, 14 producers from all over the world together on one album where it's just everybody's rapping. You know what I mean? The whole tape is just raps, no hooks, no nothing. There's people going in all different walks of life, from all over the world. It ended up being a really special thing, and I'm really proud of it. It's just a cool tape. I'll be honest.
Man, that's a pretty cool concept.
Yeah, you know what, man? You got sometimes you just put things out there and it happens. Like I didn't expect that to be anywhere near where it ended up being, but I just posted about wanting to, recreate those verses and so many producers answered and then so many rappers answered and it just became this thing that was kind of bigger than me. So it's pretty cool.
What's next for you in your career?
I got a album and a movie coming out next year together. It's kind of put everything I have into it. It's called Or Elsewhere. It'll be out. I don't know exactly when, but there'll be songs and episodes from the movie all dropping throughout the year. So that's actually what I'm working on right now on my desk. So it's a really exciting time for me. I think this is my best stuff. So I'm really looking forward to how it's going to be received and you know going from there.
That's dope. Where can people follow you on social media?
It's at Nick Moody, Nik Moody, no C at all, with an underscore. It's Nick Moody underscore. Yeah, I have a website, nickmoody.com, that you could join a mailing list that's on there as well. And yeah, we'll be dropping a consistent amount of content on everywhere: Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, X, I should say, whatever. Wherever you could find it, and obviously Spotify, Apple Music. It's all Nick Moody, Nik Moody.
Definitely. Nick Moody, thank you so much for taking the time. I really appreciate you. I really enjoyed your music. I was checking out your music videos and like you got some dope stuff.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a great day.
You too.